Okay, and we are back. So, my question, since my internet went down briefly, did the players start their game? Or did I not even get the countdown off before my internet went out? I don't have any way to verify. Because if I didn't even get the countdown off and we didn't start, we... Okay, so as long as both players didn't start, we should be okay to use the same seed. Okay, so Koolio didn't start. I'm assuming Firedox didn't start either because, yeah, if you didn't see a countdown, I'm guessing nobody saw a countdown, so we should be fine to use the same seed. And yeah, that was the most bizarre thing. I hit the countdown, then all of a sudden I saw the pinwheel on both of the players' streams, and I'm like, oh no, the players are having trouble. Then everything shut down, and I was like, oh no, I'm having trouble. Well, if you are all familiar with games done quick memes, I got one for you. That's never happened before. Okay, so keep the same seed then, since nobody nobody went ahead and played, so we should be fine to use the same seed, 36160F. And we're both ready. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to have an actual countdown this time. No internet outages. I'm looking at you, modem. Count it on down. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And now the game is afoot. Things can begin. Peace has returned to the Tetris scene as we have a game going on. This is game number 2 of 4 in the quadruple header, the back-to-back-to-back-to-back. And it's time to get to know some players. First up, we have Firedox. So you're going to learn a little bit about Firedox, who you're seeing on the right. Firedox is a roller. You're not going to see any rolling here unless it's not in the midst of the game. Now, Firedox competed at CTWC the last 2 years. Was bronze in 2024, but got gold this year. And I thought I remembered seeing you there. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to meet you, but I thought I remembered seeing you on the main stage. Now, as far as online, Firedox basically completed in everything from Tier 4 to Masters. His first and only Masters event was May of this year. So, hey, congrats on making Masters. That's pretty freaking awesome. And also, Firedox has gotten around he's gotten double-digit 1.1s, no 1.2s on 19 starts, and 87 lines is the PB on 29, and a 300K 29 PB. So, Firedox with that rolling, which you're not going to see here, can do some kill screen play. Now we're about 30 lines in, 160,000 for Koolio, 148,000 for Firedox. And outside of Tetris, Firedox used to play volleyball. Hold on a second. Used to play volleyball? You and I are going to have a little talk about that. Toast the resident volleyball maven of the classic Tetris community. You don't like to see that, but you know what? Not everybody. It's not for everybody, and I won't force people to play volleyball. But anyway, we're a third of the way to transition, looking at about a 460K pace for Firedox, and actually no, that's about a that's about a five. You know what? I'm going to call it about a 460K pace, and then about a 510K pace for Koolio, as Firedox throws down the column 8 Tetris and gets that was about to get that transitioned to the right side, but RNG in the pieces said no about that. And we're coming up to halfway. The score's right now 265K for Koolio, 226,000 for Firedox, who's going to get a dirty Tetris, and we're halfway to transition. 580K pace for Koolio, just over 500K pace for Firedox, who's got a hey now on the line counter. And again, it is Koolio who is currently leading by almost 2 Tetrises, but both players have some gaps in their stack. We see on Firedox's side, he's got column 9 open, but now needs to get 8, then back over to, he's got 8 now, still needs 5, 6, and 7, and then back to 8 again. Koolio is pretty much good to go. He's got the well transition back over to the right side. And Firedox puts the long bar into dependency, but it's only going to be a dirty triple. And this is going to also be a dirty triple, but it's allowing him to get back down towards the bottom so that he can transition things over and get back to building Tetrises. Because this situation is going to allow Koolio to expand on this lead, provided the long bar shows up, which it does. Tetris for Koolio, 352K to 273K as Firedox gets a dirty column 4 Tetris and back-to-back dirty column 4 Tetrises to get right back in this game. And we now come up to 100 lines clear. We'll call this a 430K pace for Firedox. And Koolio gets there. And this is going to be about a 500,000 transition pace for Koolio. Let's see what these players can do with the last handful of lines they get until the level 19 transition. Again, as it stands right now, Koolio's got just over a 3 Tetris lead, but Firedox is clean and waiting for an opportunity to get a Tetris, and you might have to wait a little longer as now there's some junk in the stack here. He's got to get column 2 open, which he does. He's going to use some delayed burns. That's some high IQ maneuvers right there by Firedox. You do like to see that, and you hope that he'll just get the pieces necessary to bring this down, because Koolio is starting to expand that lead and create some distance heading towards level 19. The lead is about 100,000 points, maybe a little more now. As Koolio's clean, Firedox is burning. 6 lines to transition. Firedox really needs to get things lower so that the speed change does not give him an early top out. Koolio still looking good, kind of high, would really love a long bar. Oh, look what just showed up. 506K transition for Koolio. Firedox is going to transition at 371,000 and halfway up the board, and that's about all Firedox can do. We get the top out. Koolio has the win, 561,000 on level 20. We're giving Koolio the first heart of the match. GG's to both of you as Koolio continues to play on. And you know what? Let's see what he can do here. 568,000, and there is the top out. All right. And we are on to game number 2. 4-7 should be your new seed. Koolio's ready. Firedox is ready. I am ready. Let's count down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And this one is underway. And you know, I got so distracted by the volleyball section on Firedox's info that I didn't even tell you the rest about him. Firedox usually plays Geometry Dash and has completed a few Extreme Demons, the hardest being Blade of Justice. And I might have mentioned this last time too, Firedox. There seems to be a lot of Geometry Dash players in the Tetris community, so if you ask around, you'll probably find a fair share of other Geometry Dash aficionados within the confines of the classic Tetris community. So that, as they say, is that, and you've learned what you need to know about Firedox. Now, speaking of Firedox, he's kind of high up. He's able to get pieces over. looking to survive. Okay, and let's see. He's waiting for that long bar, selling out for the long bar, and Firedox is going to top out. Koolio's taking game number 2. Early top out by Firedox. 92,000 for Koolio, 28,000 for Firedox. That is game number 2 in the books. And Koolio, you are free to top out if you so desire. That is a GG. Yep, and there we go. Koolio with the 2-0 lead. Okay, nope. Okay, nope, that's all right. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough when you're not in school. But at least around here there are still adult leagues going on. I play in several of them, and I run tournaments at least up where I am in Minnesota. I can certainly ask around about what's in Canada, because I actually know a couple players that I think one of them was on the Canadian national team. I'll have to see if I can still reach out to them. But anyway, it is time for game number 3. Ah, I got it. Central Saskatchewan. Maybe not then. But both, we got it ready from Koolio. We've got it ready from Firedox. We're going to count down this game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I know the player I'm thinking of in Canada. He's actually in Manitoba, so I guess you're a provincial neighbor, but not close enough. Yeah, where I am here in Minnesota, we've got a pretty robust volleyball community. We've got tournaments going on. I run a whole circuit of adult indoor tournaments and a couple of sand. We've got a pretty devoted sand volleyball contingent around here, but indoor reigns supreme in the winter. Club volleyball is continuing to grow in popularity, as well as the high school version. We now have boys volleyball as a high school sport, so man, I wish they would have had that about... Oh my god, I am old. I wish we would have had about 25 years ago when I was in high school. Really? Oh my god, Toast is old. We have just learned. Anyway, as far as this game 3 and what's at stake, Koolio with the win will get a sweep and his first match victory on the season. Firedox with the win gets on the board and starts the journey to the reverse sweep. We sit here at about 30 lines for both players. 139,000 for Koolio, 142,000 for Firedox. As both players playing to stay out of the cellar in Division 1. Looking to get a match win on the season and ensure that they aren't in last place. And of course, once this match is done, it's not over. We still have 2 more. Both of these players will play 1 more match. Both of them will get one in against Poopy Old Hag. So be sure to stick around for that as we come up to a third of the way to transition. And Firedox is gonna top out. That is game 4. Koolio, who takes it with that line clear, 198,000 to 190,000. So we give Firedox that third heart. Ripperoni indeed, as Koolio throws the Vits down for good measure. We'll put that score in the book. And we'll move forward to the next match, which is Koolio and Poopy. So Poopy, if you want to go live, you can go ahead and do so. Firedox, you get to hang out and chill for a bit. And Koolio, make sure you stay on because Koolio is going to be playing against Poopy Old Hag next. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we'll run an ad, we'll get the scene set up for the next match, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, and we're back. And we should be good to go here for our third match. Again, Poopy Old Hag, if you're in the chat, go ahead and get on live right now. We are ready for you. And we will introduce this next match for you. It is Koolio going up against Poopy. And you already know about Koolio, just played the last match, but let's introduce Poopy to the group. A record of 335 and 298, an ELO of 1855. That PB is 1.228 million. On 19, it's 1.013 million, and Poopy is a DAS player. So we have a true DAS on DAS matchup. And as far as the standings, they're already out of date. Koolio with 1 win on the season. Now I believe will be right around where Giovanni is, so maybe somewhere around 4th or 5th. And Poopy is sitting at 0 and 0. But let's bring it over to the match screen where Koolio has not gone anywhere. And I need to update that flag on Poopy. Give me just a sec to fix that. Because Poopy is very much not from Canada. Poopy is actually from New Zealand, but my question is, why isn't my New Zealand flag popping up? Oh, that would probably be why, because it's over there. So we will fix that problem. Right. And I guess while we're waiting for Poopy, that'll give me time to add that New Zealand flag into the mix. So I will take a moment to do just that. I thought I added it, but apparently it wasn't showing up, so we're gonna get it right this time. And now it should be showing up. There we go. So now we just wait for Poopy to get on in here. I know we're a little ahead of schedule, but I'll go ahead and give Poopy a ping. But in the meantime, we get to chill with each other and chat. Yeah, hopefully Poopy makes it because she is the star of the next two matches. It's Poopy versus Koolio, Poopy versus Firedox. So fingers crossed that Poopy was just not expecting us to be this far ahead of schedule. But while we're waiting, I'm going to give a quick BRB. I'm going to head over to my kitchen and be back in a minute. Alright, and I am back. Was a quick exit, but let's see if Poopy's stream is up. Not quite yet. But hopefully they're just on the way, and we'll see if they come on shortly. But I suppose in the meantime, while we're waiting for them, I could do this. You could watch Toast play Tetris. Although I think if I played Tetris on the DAS Super Show, we might lose some viewers. But I figure if I play a game, it'll at least buy us some time until Poopy is able to show up. So fear not, folks. I've got the chat window open. I've got my Discord notifications on. And we should be able to see if Poopy pops in. As I load up a good old game of Tetris on my own. So I am on the right side of the screen. Got a nice little setup here. My stencil is ready. And I will entertain you with some very mid-tier Tetris. For whatever it's worth, I'll say I haven't had the best command of DAS today. I did play a CTM matchup. I did win, but I wouldn't say it was due to exceptional play. I would say it was probably more due to my opponent topped out more than anything. But 'twas still a good time. I mean, I got the win, and there is now a 50% chance that there's now a 50% chance that I will meet Adam Irish in the next round of CTM. So you could have a Restreamer Royal Rumble between me and Adam if he is able to win his opening round match in CTM this month. And it gets potentially better because if I win and the bottom bracket goes the way I anticipate it would based on seeding, you would get a Toast versus Mart's CTM championship in our community tier. So that would be a good one as well. Toast versus Mart's, I think that would be round number 4 between us. in news that should be a surprise to absolutely nobody, I am playing with DAS. I am a DAS player, and I am in accordance with DAS League rules by only using DAS. The only violation I currently have is that I do not have Hertz counter and input display on my stream. At least I didn't pause the game. And speaking of game, I am halfway to transition, and this is a... Are you kidding me? A 540,000 pace for me? I mean, I'm not going to complain. Although, I might have to because the stack is getting a little unwieldy here. I'm in a drought. Ah! Here we go. We'll get my board, we'll get my game compliant for you bozos. Now, that would not be a transition PB for me. My transition top was my unofficial count of 580. I think when I kept track, it was like a 578. So I've gotten a couple around 580, not a 600 yet. Nah, it's all good, Koolio, but hey, whenever Poopy shows up, we'll be able to put that on. But let me give Poopy's stream a refresh and see if they are on. They are not. And I'm going to look and see, at least as far as what I am seeing on Discord, it appears Poopy is not online. So, hopefully everything's okay. Yeah, where is the old egg when you need her? I believe this is the part where we make jokes about what old hags would be doing with their free time. Okay, so about 7 more minutes, so I could probably get a couple more Tetris games in. And yeah, if that happens, then that would, I believe, cancel the remainder of the night. So at least we got half the Super Show in at a minimum. There we go. Now my board is compliant. I know. Such compliance. Yep. I mean, if I am hosting the Super Show, I probably should lead by example and make sure that my DAS League board is up to the stringent standards placed upon the DAS League. We do take our DAS very seriously after all. And a hey now on the board, 169,000 for Toast. And about a 510k transition pace right now, so Not too bad early on, if I do say so myself. And we're looking at about a 560k transition pace right now for Toast. Yes, I'm talking in the third person. Deal with it. But don't worry, that pace is going to go down as I've done a little bit of burning here. Oh, come on. Right when I put some weight on the well, the long bar decides, hey, I'm going to show up now. And that's going to be game. GG's, y'all. Okay. We still got a few minutes for Poopy Hag to show up. Poopy Old Hag, no less. Got to make sure we include all of the relevant details in the name. Still no word. I'm going to check the Discord. I did send a ping in the Discord, so we'll see if Poopy Old Hag has responded. The answer is no. Also showing up is offline, so guess what, folks? One more game of Tetris from Toast. Oh, wait. I think I know what will get Poopy to show up, because this happened last time I did. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, guess what, folks? One more Toast game of Tetris. And then the game between the real players and not the imposter over here will start. Wait, are you... Yes, I have increased my PB Hana at C2WC Quals. That's where I got my 656. And yeah, it was a few weeks ago where I caught fire for a game, and yeah, finally passed 700k. And I have also... Yeah, yep, rollover forthcoming, absolutely. But I've also done some work and really bumped up my 19 PB, because previously my 19 PB was around, I want to say, like 160,000, and now it's just under 300,000. And not only that, but as I think some of you saw in the Discords, that I got my first ever level 19 start transition. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. I would still say that my My 19 game is somewhere between mid and trash. Alright, Koolio saying BRB and stuff, so there you go. And I just thought of something. Maybe I have to trademark this. I don't even know if it could be used for anything, but just hear me out. Air BRB. I don't know what it would be used for, but that name could be used for something. What that something is, I don't know. No, why did I do that? Oh, that's why. Because I knew the second long bar was coming. Well, that's a game for Toast. Survey says Toast is an idiot. But let's go ahead and see if Poopy Old Hag stream is up and running. Not quite yet, but we can take my screen down now. Okay, side note, you mentioned Future Vision. If you paid attention to my 8 minutes of fame at CTWC, you'd know where I'm going with this. Anybody here plays Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, Xenoblade Chronicles 1? Anybody here play that game? Because if you do, you saw Future Vision and you immediately thought of the Monado, didn't you? That's alright, I know you're all just being modest and you all love Xenoblade. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, if you like action RPGs, you'll like Xenoblade, Hana. So Xenoblade has 4 games in the series of Xenoblade Chronicles. There's 1, 2, 3, and X. X is kind of, well, allegedly they're all, 1, 2, and 3 are all tied together in some way. I'm not going to say exactly how, because spoilers, but X is kind of different from the main 3, but it's implied that X may also be connected to them. But yeah, go ahead and give them a try. I mean, you'll waste a good 100 hours per game, and they're all available on the Switch. But while we're waiting for Poopy here, I can also mention that Xenoblade Chronicles is actually not the first one in that whole series. Xenoblade Chronicles is just the most recent iteration, because this whole line of games started out as Xenogears, which was a PS1 game. And that game came out almost 30 years ago. My goodness, I am old. I played that game in high school, Xenogears, and it was a really good game. But yeah, there's Xenogears, and they had a Xenosaga trilogy, which didn't do quite as well. But man, Xenogears was a good game. And I would definitely recommend it, although it is more turn-based, because that was the MO of the time, is that your RPGs are turn-based. And your other fun fact, for a while, Xenogears was going to be Final Fantasy VII. I don't know how to word that any better, but when they were making the story, the idea was that this game Xenogears was going to be the story for Final Fantasy VII, but they turned it down because it was way too dark. And yeah, it was a fairly dark game for its time as far as story content, but still pretty dang good. I liked it, even if me at about however old I was at the time, we'll say 15. didn't quite fully get all the stuff going on. Still, good game, still fun, and the whole thing continues with Xenoblade. Alright. I'm gonna give a refresh on Poopy. Still not on. Poopy, are you playing on an alt account by chance? If you're playing on an alt account, Poopy, let me know what the alt is so I can make sure I have the right stream up. Because then we can go ahead and get the party started. And yeah, that has been your Xenoblade RPG lore dump of the day. May have to do another comfy stream. I did a comfy stream a little while back where I just played Tetris and yapped a bit, and it ended up turning into a whole like hour and a half plus of Final Fantasy chat, featuring me and Jati, and it was a pretty dang good time. So we might have to do something like that again in the near future. Okay, what's the alt account? If I get that, then I can put that in and we can get this match underway. Okay, there we go. All right. That's much gooder. Okay, and now I have to play... Get everything looking right on the match screen. I think if I do this... there we go, that should be better. Okay, it looks like both players are here, so I'm going to put the seed in the chat for both of you. 496E77 is the seed. 496E as in Evesy 77. Alright, in the meantime I will get this match scene adjusted. We will get Poopy Old Hag on the camera as best I can. Alright, Koolio indicating they are ready. Okay, and Poopy Old Hag also ready. So, let's count this down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright, and heads up, you tell me what you want to do, Hana, because I don't see input display and hertz counter on Poopy's side, so... Hana, you tell me if you want to keep this game going or if you want to re-roll. For now, players continue to play. So yeah, continue to play for now. We'll wait for an official ruling from the boss himself. But yes, for now, do continue to play. And do not end your game unless you are specifically told to do so. Okay, Hana says play on, so we shall continue. And with that, now we can go ahead and we can do a little lore drop on Koolio, since Koolio has given me some info to work with here. Alright, so... Koolio, I believe, studying mechanical design and mechanical engineering. I assume that is studying, as in still in college. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And you might get along with my best friend. He is a mechanical engineer as well. I believe he got his master's in mechanical engineering. Now, as far as the game, we're fairly close. 126,000 for Koolio, 144k for Poopy. As we are over 30 lines in, coming up to a third of the way to transition. There we go. Now the camera's working a little better. And continuing to learn about Poopy here. Koolio is a DAS player. And looks like he attended a couple of Seattle meetings. I do not know if those were CTWC events, but apparently they were in Seattle. And Koolio won some CTL leagues back in the day. And he's also a Grandmaster in Tetris the Grandmaster. Man, would have been nice to see you at CTWC. Then they actually had a TGM4 event, and I want to say Green Tea was there. I think Sight was there, so them along with Corion, but Green Tea there for TGM. Alex Kerr and some others did that event. Anyway, we are almost halfway to transition. And the current pace is about 460k for Koolio, and we'll say about 480k for Poopy. So pretty dang close over here. Actual scores, 255,000 for Koolio, 274k for Poopy. As far as sports, Koolio indicates occasionally, I will wrestle and fight my friends. We'll count that in my book. He plays a lot of board games, the favorite being Cosmic Encounters. Okay, I am going to have to look that game up. Ooh. Cosmic Encounter is a science fiction themed strategy board game published in 1977. This game is older than me. That might be worth checking out sometime. I wonder if they will have that at 2DCon, because at 2DCon, which also where Mini D is being hosted this year, they have a whole they're going to have a whole collection of tabletop games available to play. So I will have to look when I get a moment and see if this one's going to be there. Now, score update, 328,000 for Koolio, 368,000 for Poopy, and hey, there's a Tetris during a score update, 352k now for Koolio. So looks like about a one Tetris lead for Poopy as we're at about 100 lines. Current pace is about 520k for Poopy, 480k for Koolio as we make our way to the level 19 transition. Now again, when not playing Tetris, Koolio's hobbies include music production and stalking a lot of people. Alright, Andy, the last fun fact you need to know, and I believe this fun fact coincides with the top out. He has 4 nipples. Yes, that's actually what was submitted. But Koolio tops out, and Poopy has taken game number 1, 382,000 to 429,000. So Poopy, you have taken game number 1. We're going to give you that first heart of the match. So you are welcome to top out if you so desire. You're probably looking at maybe about a 460k transition pace if that matters to you. Have room for one more Tetris, but yes, there is the top out. And GG's to both of ya. Alright, and we are moving on. So yeah, there we go. Hertz and input display are on now. Excellent. Love to see it. And yes, 5A is the new seed. That is 5A as in AV Geek. And both players are ready, so let's count this one down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Looks like we got an O piece, a long bar, and holy S-burst, Batman. I can't see, but I believe this is like 5 S-bursts to start the game. So we're probably looking at 5, 6, maybe more S's. You know, exactly the way you like to start a game out with one of the pieces you do not want to see in significant action early on. But let's see how these players get out of this predicament that RNG has put them in. Poopy able to start off with the Tetris, and Koolio, looking like Koolio surviving, is able to get that gap open and is now Tetris ready. So RNG tried to make it difficult. These players said, nope, we have other plans in mind. So I was going to look up that game, Cosmic Encounter, and I'm gonna see, because now I'm curious. Do they have that game at 2DCon? So we're going to look at their library. They actually do have Cosmic Encounter at 2DCon, so I may have to check it out. Since you brought it up, Koolio, it is going to be there. But anyway, we're just over 30 lines in on this second game. 64,000 for Poopy, make it 87,000 with the Tetris. 86,000 for Koolio, who has a long bar dependency on the left. Gets it over. It's going to burn 2 lines, a split dirty double. And Koolio just trying to get whatever he can to burn because he's up high and it's looking a little dangerous, but Koolio is surviving. Poopy's pace right now is at about 280,000. Koolio is sitting at about 270,000, so they're fairly close. Both of them have been on the struggle bus to start this one, but looks like they're starting to make their way out and see some sunlight as both are now Tetris ready. Man, that was a struggle to start this one. Both players dealing with some tough pieces and some bad RNG, and we're not out of it yet. Although Poopy might have made their way out, getting the Tetris. We're almost halfway to transition. We'll update the pace when the players get there. 300k pace for Poopy. Koolio almost to the halfway point as well. There is a Tetris, 360k pace for Koolio. And let's hope that the pieces behave themselves for the remainder of this one, because that was a very tough start to work through for both of these accomplished players. The actual scores in this one, 165, will make it 188,000 for Koolio, and 181,000 for Poopy. Currently about 80 lines in for both players. Again, Poopy was able to take game number 1. Koolio trying to fight back, currently with the lead in the second game. And we'll see who comes out on top here. Koolio just got first win of the season by beating Firedox in the previous match. And Poopy, this is her first match period of this DAS League season, so looking to get on the board period. Scores now, we're over 90 lines in, 260,000 to 251,000 is Koolio with the slight advantage, and the slight advantage grows with the Tetris. We're approaching 100 lines cleared. Some people call that the turn. There may be some turn deniers out there that will tell you that the turn is not a thing and we do not call it that, but as I said, they are just deniers. We do not talk about them. Yes, I know I just talked about them, but we don't talk about them. So current paces, both players are looking at about a 410,000 pace. This game's still just back and forth, neck and neck. Yes, we will say neck and neck, as we're 20 lines away from level 19 speeds. Will we get to the transition this time? Koolio with a good decision there to fill up that long bar dependency. Now Tetris ready, gets the long bar. Tetris for Koolio. Okay, Hana letting us know that they're a turn ambivalent. I don't mind it. I think it's a good reference, although I kind of use the turn and 100 lines interchangeably. I mean, it does make sense because 100 lines on level 18 is, you could say it's kind of a milestone as both players transition. 426k for Koolio with a hey now, 420k for Poopy. And the race is on to level 29. Poopy gets a Tetris there, and now only down by about a burn triple. They're going back and forth. Throwing Tetris is down. And in a little bit, we're going to also be able to see that kill screen pace. Kill screen pace, of course, is what we expect these players to be at once they reach level 29. That is, of course, assuming they're able to maintain what they have been done up to this point. And it also assumes they're able to get to level 29, much like the level 19 pace tracker assumes the player's going to get to level 19. So we'll see what happens. My easier to calculate milestone comes up towards the end of level 22. So assuming the players are able to get there, we'll get some kill screen pace calculations. 568k for Koolio, and Poopy tops out, hangs the Z piece, and Koolio, with a hey now on the board, has taken game number 2. If you want to mull in this, Koolio, I am okay with it. Your current pace is about 870,000 for kill screen, so up to you to decide if you want to mull in this out, knowing that you're looking at an 800 and something K pace for level 29, and it looks like Koolio is going to top out. And that is a GG. And we'll put the heart on the board for Koolio. And Firedox informing us, and therefore I must report, maybe not feeling so well, might have to cancel the next match. I know for me personally, understandable. I do stay up late, but I also don't mind heading to bed a little early personally. But hey, if we have to cancel, we have to cancel, and we look forward to another day. And it looks like both players are ready. Koolio is ready. Poopy is ready. Let's count down game number 3 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And as the saying goes, what was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3. Whoever wins 2 games first is the victor and gets another win on the board. Will it be Koolio, who just took game number 2 after making it well into level 19 speed? Or will it be Poopy, who set the tone with a good game 1 victory? You'll have to stick around to find out who's going to take this one. And as mentioned before, this may end up being the last match of the night. Firedox feeling a little under the weather. It happens to the best of us. It also happens to me. So, if we have to reschedule, we have to reschedule. After all, I am just the host restreamer. I put the match on the screen and I yap uncontrollably while people put pieces onto a board and stack them up in a semi-organized fashion. We are approaching 30 lines cleared. Current scores 117,000 for Koolio, 121,000 for Poopy. And Koolio with a bridge and a left well and kind of the whole package of stuff you don't want to see on your board that high up on level 18. And this is starting to fall apart like a Nature Valley granola bar. Can't get the long bar over. Koolio is going to top out at 120,000. Poopy, you have taken game number 3. Let's give Poopy the second heart of the match. You can feel free to top out, Poopy. You've already secured game number 3. And there is the Tetris. And this would be about a 540k pace if Poopy were to continue. That's the pace into kill screen. Oh my gosh, not kill screen, level 19. But we are good to go. 7C is the next C. That is 7C as in coal bucket. And we've got it ready from Koolio. We've got it ready from Poopy. Let's count it on down in 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And on to game 4. We'll see who takes this one. I will point out that the flag you see on Poopy's side of the screen is for New Zealand. That is the New Zealand flag. And I have not been to New Zealand. I hear it's pretty nice. I actually saw a YouTube video on, I believe the channel is called Jetlag. They do these kind of, sort of, I guess you call Amazing Race-like challenges, but not quite on the same tier as The Amazing Race, if you've seen that show. And one of theirs was basically a series where it was a journey for them to get from the north tip of New Zealand to the south tip of New Zealand. Kind of an exciting video, as are some of the others on that channel. So, I mean, if that's something you like, feel free to check out that Jetlag channel on YouTube. And speaking of New Zealand, we have a Toast Locale connection, a Minnesota sort of connection to New Zealand. Our local university's volleyball coach, the former coach before he retired, is actually a Kiwi himself. Hugh McCutcheon, if you've heard of that name, from New Zealand, definitely has the Kiwi accent, and he was the coach for the women's volleyball team at the University of Minnesota, also the Olympic coach for the men's and women's national volleyball teams, and brought out some hardware for the United States. Now, as far as score in this game, which has nothing to do with women's volleyball or Olympic volleyball, 166K for Koolio, 228,000 for Poopy, and again, Poopy needing, well, not necessarily needing, but with a win, would get the victory, 3-1. Koolio with a S-Spire in the middle of his stack, looking for a win to force a decider. And as you all know, what does a decider mean? It means we need more points. So we'll see if we get more points, as Koolio is in survival dig mode. Ooh, that is a perfectly timed piece, and he's getting what he needs. Some great pieces coming up at the right times, but also some good digging from Koolio. Let's see if he can get out of this. He's got a long bar dependency, can't get that T-piece over. That didn't do what he wanted to do, and is he going to make it out? He is not. A great, valiant effort, but the wrong piece at the wrong time, a hang when he doesn't want it, and Koolio tops out at 180,000. That means, Poopy, you have taken game number 4 and won the match 3-1. So, Poopy, feel free to take your victory lap. You're on a transition pace of about 660,000, which, by the way, would, ironically enough, beat the all-time toast stream record set by Firedox. So keep on going with this, Poopy. You've got a chance to make toast stream history by getting a transition over 660,000. As said before, that would be a all-time toast stream transition record, currently held by Firedox. I'm going to pull up the exact number, if I can, for that record. Let's see what we have here. Is it this one? No, it is not. I have to find the note that has it on there, as Poopy is at 442,087 lines in. But we're going to see which one it is as I go through all of my notes that have the info. There it is, as Poopy is now at 510K, 99 lines in, 30 more to transition. So the all-time record is 660,734 by Firedox. So let's see if Poopy can make it there, and then if she so desires, what she can do in the kill screen. 556,000. Basically, getting all Tetrises would secure that record and put a new name in the Toast Stream record books. But now a long bar dependency in column 3. And the log bar not coming, but some good burns being done by Poopy to keep this stack alive. This is definitely a drought. There is the log bar. It's only going to burn one line. Actually, it's going to burn 0 lines. I thought it would at least get one. But now the stack is ready. The Tetris is thrown down. And unfortunately, I think that series of events will keep the transition record safe for Firedox. I don't think Poopy can Tetris out and get over 660k. But let's see what happens. There is one more Tetris to get. And no, it's going to be very close. Probably about a 658, 659k if this is Tetris into transition. And that's what it looks like it's going to happen. Oh my gosh. Short by 234 points. So the transition record was 660, 734. That was 660, 500. So by 200 points, Firedox maintains the all-time transition record on the Toast stream. So close. But this is still a monster pace from Poopy. Let's not take anything away from that. This is a great score into level 19, and that is a top out 672,000, but a 660,000 transition for Poopy, 200 shy of the record. Man, what a game, what an effort from Poopy. Almost made Toast Stream history in her debut on top of it. And that is a wrap, because as I recall, Firedox is ducking out and will likely reschedule just due to illness. So I believe this is going to be the last scheduled match of the night. Hana, tell me if I'm wrong. Poopy once held the DAS comp transition world record. Hey, well, with play like that, I can absolutely see it. That was a work of beauty right there. And that is 80,000 points higher than my best ever transition. So that's something wild. Yep, and this is the last match of the night. And for those of you wondering, if Poopy were to keep playing, the pace into kill screen, if Poopy was able to maintain that pace, Poopy would have gotten a 1.32 million kill screen. Again, that's if Poopy was able to maintain that pace all the way to level 29. That would have been a D on the screen. A perfectly timed mention of D on the screen for Mini D. As you see on the screen, registration is open now. Go ahead, sign up. If you qualify in person, if you qualify online, it is free. If you qualify in person, it is, I believe, $10 to qualify in person. So I'll check with Rhubarb and see if he's okay with double dipping. He may be all right with it. I don't know. But we'll find out because Rhubarb's the boss man of the operation. But that is your DAS League Super Show for tonight. We got everyone on board. We got Knight, we got Somalian, we got Firedox, Koolio, and Poopy. Everyone got to play. Everyone had a good time. And we are going to go ahead and sign out for the evening because I am done streaming for the night. And now we're going to play Who is Streaming Tetris right now. Going to refresh my screen and see who we could potentially raid. Let's see who is up. Wait, is CTM actually on right now? I am curious. Let me see if CTM is actually on. Nope, I think CTM is. Nope, CTM's about to wrap up, so we're not going to go to CTM. Alright, well, guess what? Harry Hong is on. Looks like Harry Hong is on. So we're going to go check out Harry Hong's stream. But if you're heading to bed or you're just getting up for the day, thanks for coming out. I'm sure I'll be on at some point tomorrow, if not for Tetris, for my volleyball, because I have 2 volleyball matches tomorrow. But we're going to raid Harry Hong, enjoy the stream there, and otherwise, this is Toast signing out.